So I was in a mom group today, and this mom is saying how her partner is basically trying to push her into a hospital-style birth, saying that she needs to induce, that this is what doctors do this stuff for a reason. They're telling her that she needs to have the epidural. He's also bringing her family and his family in on this and basically telling her that what she wants is not normal. What does she want? She wants a completely physiological, natural birth where nobody touches her, nobody tells her what to do, and she's able to do what her body needs to do. And to trust herself and to not go medicated. She was induced the first time. She didn't like it. She didn't like the interventions, and this time she wants to do things differently. First of all, I'm just going to say it. This partner, if your partner is telling you that you can't have your birth the way you want it, there's two ways to go about this, okay? One, this is a symptom of a bigger issue at play. If your partner thinks that this is their birth, they are barking up the wrong tree here. It's your birth. It may be part of their baby, but you are carrying this baby. This is your body that is going through this. They're not going through it, so they don't actually get to have a say. They may have their concerns. They're allowed to address their concerns, but you don't have to compromise. You don't have to fight with them. You don't have to beg them permission. This is your choice, not theirs. Second of all, if your partner is the kind of person who is controlling you in this sense and is putting their foot down and telling you that you are putting their child at risk and they are being very controlling, that is a symptom of a bigger issue. This is not about birth. This is about control. I'm going to tell you as compassionately as I can that if you do not address this, if you do not change this, or at the worst case scenario, get out of this relationship, it's just going to continue. It's just going to keep getting worse. One thing is they're going to tell you to stop breastfeeding because they don't want you to do that. It's not normal. Or they're going to try to gaslight you in other ways when you are doing what's instinctively best for your child, and they are going to fight you every step of the way. This then creates a toxic environment for yourself and for your baby. It's just not good, especially if they're also bringing in family and friends to try to convince you that what you want is not normal. It's gaslighting, plain and simple. Now, let's address the not normal part of birth. This is a whole other can of worms. This is because of our maternity care system and our culture and how we have basically normalized medicalized birth. We have normalized it to the point where it's not normal for you to go without the epidural. It's kind of expected that you would want to do that. It's gotten to the point now where the question that people ask you is, when are you getting induced? Not when is your due date? Because now we don't even wait till our due dates to give birth. Now it's all about induction. There are doctors out there that are pushing induction before 39 weeks because of a stupid study that was done that has now been debunked, by the way. But the fact is that you get asked that question, when are you going to be induced? We understand that our birth culture is very medicalized when it comes to birth. You get the epidural, you get your Pitocin, and then you have your baby at the end. And if we have to do a C-section, well, that's because your body is broken and defective and something was wrong, and it would have happened either way, or so you want to believe. But it's not true. And what's really going on is that usually it's that intervention and it's the mental mindset of having your birth medicalized and society basically reinforcing this, and your friends and family and your partner even reinforcing this, that makes you say this question. Am I wrong for wanting to have this natural birth? Am I crazy for wanting to do this? Is this really not normal? Is there something wrong with me that I don't feel like I need to do all these extra medical exams, that I don't want to do this? Am I being selfish for choosing this? Am I really putting my baby at risk? And the thing is that no, you're not. Okay? you're not. First of all, you're tuning into what is right for you. And nothing that feels right for you is wrong. And I just need you to hear that. Because if you're hearing from other people that this isn't normal for you to want a completely natural birth or a physiological birth, or to choose something other than what you've been taught, what the medical system allows, I'm just going to say, this is your birth. You can have it any way you want. Nobody can tell you what to do. Nobody gets to tell you what you should want. Nobody gets to tell you what you should value. The fact is that this is your unique motherhood journey. And just like in your birth, this is unique, your parenting is also going to be completely unique. You don't have to do what every other mom does. You can be your own type of mom. You can be the mom that you want to be for your kids. You don't have to follow what the books tell you. You don't have to follow the experts. I lay this out inside my book, Your Empowered Birth. As I said, you are your own best expert. And what I did with this book is different from what a lot of childbirth books do. A lot of them may tell you what to think, but they don't tell you how to think about it. So then you have some information, but you don't know how to break it down. You don't know what to do to apply it when you're talking to your care provider, because they're just going to look at you and say, oh, well, you just got that off of Dr. Google. Or if you're talking to your friends and family and your partner and they're still scared, it doesn't matter how much information you throw at them. They're not going to accept it. They're just going to say, like this said to this mom that put this in the chat, they're going to say things like, well, you're just following a fad. And you're not following a fad. You're following your own intuition. But because of the fact that there are so many influencers on natural birth out there, the cultural perception is that natural birth is a fad and medical birth is normal. In truth, medical birth is a fad that came out in the 1920s, and natural birth is what our bodies are designed to do. But because of the fear that has come up in our culture, we fall into what I call the natural birth traps, which are the things that undermine your confidence, make you doubt yourself, make you think that maybe there's something wrong with you. And then what you're able to do with what I teach inside this book and what I teach my clients is that you are able to say, I'm not going to fight with you. I'm not going to try to convince you that what I want is normal. What I'm going to do instead is I'm going to stand for what I want, and you can either support me or get out, because I'm going to do this either way. It gives you your confidence back. Not only that, it has practical tips on how you can actually tell your care provider no. In fact, I also added some bonuses in addition to what's in the actual book, and you'll be able to access that as an additional gift. When you purchase the book, it gives you a URL that you can go to, and you can go and get your extras. This allows you to also know where to find the right birth location, how to hire your right care provider. I give you an overview of what true natural birth looks like. I give you an overview on how to heal from birth trauma if you previously have had a disempowering birth experience. It's called How to Heal and Get the Birth You Want the Next Time. So if you've already had a traumatic experience, that chapter is what's going to help you heal. And then in addition to that, you also get in the bonuses the guide on how to actually heal your birth trauma, which is again the same thing that I've taught my clients. Why am I giving all of this out in addition to the book? I mean, I could just have written a book and just put it out as it is. Well, here's the thing. I don't work with just anyone when it comes to my coaching. That is a high-level premium package that is completely customized to my clients. And I only want to take on 1 or 2 people per year because I also really value my time with my kids. And the same thing with all of my high-level programs that I'm going to be building is I don't take everybody on, because when we got together inside of these programs, what I found is that the energy of the right support from the other moms who were going through the process, they were able to actually enhance that. So I want to keep those communities close-knit. in order for me to feel comfortable doing that and to limit who could come into the actual community and learn from me personally, I had to put that book out there, because at the same time, I don't want anybody to be left out. Everyone deserves to have an empowered birth. And if you yourself can't put in the time commitment, or maybe it's a monetary thing, maybe it's just not the right timing in terms of what else you have that you're working on, then I want to make sure that you at least have this book. So again, all you have to do is go down to my website. The link's in the bio. Go to empoweringmomsbirth.com/book. You're also going to get to hear some stories of some moms who've already had an empowered birth with this system that I teach inside of this book. They have all the concepts. It's all the same stuff. I'm not holding anything back. It's the same exact program. And what you're going to be able to do is you're going to be able to get the birth you want without having to fight, beg, or compromise. And no matter how many times people tell you that what you want isn't normal, or that you're being selfish, or that you're putting your birth experience before your baby, or that they're saying that what you want is crazy, whatever those things are that they tell you, you're not going to have to listen to that. You're going to be able to get that birth without having your confidence undermined. And this has worked so well for some of my clients whose families were completely not on board when it came to their empowered birth. Or sometimes it was just them, like the partner and them, against everybody else, including the medical system, and they have been able to have these beautiful empowered births. And I just want that for you. And if you think of anybody else who could use this, if you know anybody who could use what's on this channel, or any of the videos in my YouTube channel, or if they would get the book themselves, then please pass it on, because I can't be everywhere at once, okay? I can only be on certain platforms at certain times, and I'd love to reach as many mamas as possible, because this is it. This is what we've been waiting for. This is what I wish had existed back when I was having my first baby, because I doubted myself. I doubted myself, and it ended up that I gave in and I went to the hospital when I didn't actually feel called to do that, and I had a traumatic experience. It could have been way worse than it was, but it still changed me. And I just remember looking at that afterwards, finding out what was really going on, getting really mad and saying, this is never happening again for me, and this is not happening again for my friends either. And then I taught my friends how to do this, and they ended up having beautiful empowered birth experiences that otherwise wouldn't have been possible if they hadn't known what I was helping them with. And then I decided to go even further. They were saying, this is amazing, you need to teach this. So I became a childbirth educator, and I started teaching first in my Facebook group, then I built a coaching program, then I worked through with some clients over months, some of them even over a year. And then they got these amazing results. Like my best friend Jenny, 41 years old, chronic high blood pressure, gestational diabetes, previous C-section, told that there was absolutely no way that she could have a natural birth. And then she went and had an unassisted hospital birth with her second baby, with her partner and her doula catching. Like, that was totally unheard of. In fact, the nurse even said after the baby was already born and the placenta was out, what you're doing is dangerous. And she's like, what's dangerous? I'm nursing my baby right now. I have no bleeding. Like, the placenta's out. Like, what exactly is dangerous about this? But it was more that the nurse just was really uncomfortable because she'd never seen this before. And that's the problem with the medical system in our birth cultures. We don't see natural birth anymore. We don't see a true natural birth. We see the medicalized version, which is often heavily controlled and traumatic. And then we also see that there's all these C-sections happening, and we think that it's because our bodies are broken, and it's not. What's really going on is that birth is being so messed with, and it's been going on for so long that we've forgotten that our bodies are just designed to do this. So I just wanted to leave that for you today, and my son is banging on the door. And just keep doing what you're doing. Keep spreading the word, empowered mom. I mean, it's going to take all of us to turn this around and make true natural birth the new normal, which is what it was always supposed to be. and start recognizing that medical birth is something that we bring in when there actually is a need for it, and it shouldn't be what is considered normal, because it just makes us all feel really bad about ourselves whenever we decide to ask for it. It makes us feel like we have to fight, beg, compromise, and I'm done with that. And I know you're done with that too. All right, so go check out my book, Your Empowered Birth, and links in the bio. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye.